All right. Good evening, Hobby World. Thanks for joining us tonight live on episode 40 of Personal Rips and Hobby Chat. Joining me tonight, as always, is Ken from Beans Beef Colored Blog. I'm Herman, a.k.a. 3B Collections. We're here every Monday night at 8 Eastern to talk about our hobby and yours. Feel free to join in the conversation and chat. So we missed last week. Are you there, Ken?
I made it tonight. But I made it tonight. Barely, but I made it.
Yeah, last week was at no fault to anybody. I had actually had to work, so
stuff happens.
It's summertime, so
Indeed.
It's like we got Dan with us at the beginning.
Hey Dan.
And Racing Card Info. I'm not sure who that is.
That is Val, NASCAR Radio.
Oh, Val. Okay, that's his.
Yeah, that's his.
That's his YouTube.
That's his. YouTube identity.
All right. Welcome, Val. Bo, watching on the big screen. Bo's going to open some Bone Mega tonight.
My shirt's good. I don't know why the print's going up on it.
Looks like a Nike stick.
Well, yeah, which is weird because it says just a dude on there, but oh well. It is what it is.
It's like me and Bo's going to be competing for YouTube in a little while.
Yeah,
I
finally
got my stadium club.
Yeah, so what was up with all that?
UPS, man. It was all UPS. It was on the truck Friday, and they come to my house and they dropped off 5 big old packages for my wife and not mine. I don't know what was up with it. I don't know if they just overlooked it and decided they didn't want to come back or what. I said here, originally it said that it'd be delivered by 3:30 that day, which is about the time it's usually always delivered. Then I got home at about 4:35, saw all them boxes on the porch. I thought, well, good, it's up there. Walk up on the porch, it's everything but my box. And about 30 minutes later, I get an update from an updated email saying that it'll be here by 7. Well, 7:30 rolled around, nothing. Then I get an email that says it'll be delivered Monday. And I paid for overnight shipping.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Do they not deliver on Saturday?
Apparently not. So,
thanks, UPS.
I was hoping to been done with this and moving on to something else, but here we go. So I've got the first box. I got the first box filled. I got 5 spots left on the second box. I was down to 3, but I had a couple dropped out when I couldn't do it Friday. So I mean, I understand that. I can't fault them.
I don't know. I wouldn't have backed out, but
there was a lot of them didn't. But and to be honest, the ones that backed out, there was the first time they had been in a break with me. So
yeah, I mean, what do they? What do they think? You control UPS? Yeah, well. It's like buyers on eBay. It said it arrived and it didn't. I mean, once I ship it out, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, it's like I said. It'd been one thing if it hadn't got here, but just knowing it was on the truck and it was in my yard and then they left with it. And it had to be an oversight on the driver's part. So
yeah, I don't even have any words. I don't know what to say. But at least you got them. I guess that's what matters. Now you just got a long Monday night.
Yeah, well, I probably won't fill this second box tonight, so it is what it is. I hope to. Maybe I will during the break, during the first box. Maybe a couple of them decide to fill it in. But
see, you had a couple people join in one recently during one of the shows. So hey, you never know,
right? So what's been going on with you?
Just life, man. Spending a little less hobby time, but I've actually been organizing a lot of stuff. Pretty much got my last consignment 1 box filled to send out. but have gotten a lot more organized. Probably haven't been this organized in years. Still a long ways to go, but still a long ways from where I was a few months ago.
All right.
Yes, Val. I know. I told you I got them. I gotta get through them. We'll break them up. Val and I, we won a. So I got my first time I ever won anything from an auction house. I'd only bid a handful of times before, but we won one that was a bunch of '80s IndyCar sets, and we went in together. So we're splitting those up. So I did get that. I don't have anything to show. I do have some pickups I've made recently that I've got to show, but. None of those to show.
Speaking of which, we gotta get Val on here one night. I've already talked to him, and he said he'd be willing to do it. Y'all can talk hobby racing.
Yeah, Val. He is a wealth of knowledge for sure. When I need anything NASCAR related, when I need to know, I definitely go to Val. He is the man. Val and his buddy Logan, who I met at not just met but hung out with at the Dallas Card Show, and that was a hell of a time. I really had fun. I don't even know if I'm going to go next month, but definitely had fun at that one. I may wait till some more guys. I think as many people are coming in from out of town with it being so close to the National this time.
Yeah, man, I wish I could get into NASCAR like I used to. I used to never miss a race. We went to Charlotte every year. That was the main one we always went to the All-Star race, and I enjoyed it. I don't know. Well,
I tried last summer to get back into it, but it's just I don't know what it is. It's not the same as it was when I was watching it in the mid '90s to the early 2000s. But I've also realized that I'm kind of like that with a lot of sports. I'm just everything was better when we were younger.
Yeah.
Baseball was better. NBA was better. NASCAR was better.
Yeah.
Hell, even college football was better because I'm tired of this freaking now every day somebody's transferring to another school. I'm so tired of hearing about this damn transfer portal. I used to follow college football hardcore, off season, recruiting, everything. Now I'm down to I watch WVU games on fall Saturdays.
Right.
And I mean, Saturdays I would get up, be watching from the time game day came on until, those late night West Coast games went off. But yeah, I feel like everything was better. Maybe I'm just a grumpy old man. Who knows?
I don't know if it was all the changes they tried to make with the scoring or, it's a combination of that. And then my driver retired. He decided to become an owner, and it wasn't as fun anymore. So
who was that?
Which Tony Stewart.
Oh, okay, all right. Have you been watching the SRX?
I still watch the big races. I watched the Daytona, Daytona 500. I watched the All-Star race and Talladega. It's some of the bigger races I'll watch. I watched the dirt track race.
Yeah, that's what I was talking. SRX.
Was it
the one at Eldora?
Yeah,
just the other night. It was at Eldora.
No. No, I'm talking about.
The NASCAR dirt race they did.
Yeah, where they put the dirt on the track.
Okay, I don't know where that was. I think that might have been Charlotte or Indy.
It was one of the small tracks.
Yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, there's the SRX. They've run 3 of the 6 races. They're every Saturday night. They're 6 weeks in a row. They're halfway through, but they raced door on Saturday, and Tony Stewart won.
Yeah, really?
And he owns the track.
Well, he better win then. He knows it better than anybody then.
I mean, you would think. Well, what's cool about this series is it's kind of like the old IROC where they bring people from different series. Like Tony Kanaan, Elio Castroneves, who ran IndyCar. Those guys are Indy 500 champions. But then, you had Paul Tracy, who was open wheel. But then you've got Tony Stewart, Bob Labonte's been racing, Bobby Labonte. And then at each track, they have a local guy, like a guy that is like the track champion. And the first race, at least of the thing, the local track guy beat all the NASCAR and IndyCar guys. So that was pretty damn cool. But yeah, it's kind of like the old IROC where they bring guys from different kinds of racing together. I think there's a Trans Am guy, a Trans Am champion in this series. So good stuff. Cousin's son is an Indy driver, finished 7th. Who was that? I don't know who finished 7th.
And Val said it was in Bristol where they had the dirt race. I knew it was one of the smaller tracks, but
okay. Oh yeah. You're right. Yes, I remember watching that too. I remember they did like the first. They were trying to get through the first heat, and then they didn't. It was the first time doing it, and then like everybody's windshield. Oh, Sage Karam, he's a good young driver. Everybody's windshield had mud all over it. Well, they don't have windshield wipers,
right?
So, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was watching that. I don't think I watched all of it, but I was trying to watch some of it.
When I first heard them talk about it, I was wondering if they were actually going to dump dirt on the track, or maybe Bristol was going through a overhaul where they may have tore the track up and decided to run the dirt. But I guess they dumped dirt on it.
Well, they may as well. Bristol to be one of the most fun races to watch, and now it's just as boring as all those other. That's part of it with NASCAR too. Let's just call it what it is. They went to the cookie cutter tracks, where almost every track, mile and a half, they're all the same. They got rid of a lot of the short tracks, so there's no bumping. Drivers aren't as angry because on the short tracks they're all bumping into each other and shoving each other out of the way. But yeah, NASCAR did that, in the late 90s to mid 2000s. They went corporate. They got away from their southeastern roots and decided they were going to go corporate. And yeah, it kind of.
That's when they got away from Winston. That's what did it.
Well, I mean, yeah. Let's not even get into that, the government and all that crap. But you don't want to. Yeah, we don't want to go there anyway.
All right.
Who thought we'd spend that much time on racing tonight?
Well, I mean, Val was in here, so we had to talk a little racing.
We got to keep Val. Well, right. Yeah, and Boomsling said Sage Karam. I had mentioned that. Yeah, he doesn't have a full-time ride in IndyCar, but I mean he's run well at Indy, so would like to see him get a full-time ride. All right. Whoa.
We'll take care of that. So you mentioned you had some pickups since we're talking about racing, and I'm assuming that yours has something to do with racing. So
they do. So I just figured I'd show these off. Since we didn't have a show last week, I got three mail days. So if you watch the round table that we do, I want to say maybe 2 ago, and maybe you remember these. I showed off some old matchbook covers. There were NASCAR and IndyCar, because you don't have a lot of. There's not a lot of cards. There were actually a couple of sets in the 50s and early 60s. That actually was the second most, I guess, prolific time for trading cards. But so sometimes you have to look elsewhere. And I know that in football, there are a lot of vintage matchbooks because there just weren't cards from that time. So they become a little popular. So I bought that set. I bought 2 sets. There was a 6 or 5 piece NASCAR set. And then there was an Indy 500 set, which was 17. And, but the thing is, what I find cool is they've got the advertisement, so you can see like Maurice's Garage on there. So there may be, of each driver, there may be multiple ones. So these 2 I got. Unfortunately, they're straight doubles. I had not, other than that set that I bought off of my Indy 500 friend, he got them, and he came to me and said, "Hey, I've got this. I think you might be interested." We did it. Other than that, there's 3 of them on eBay that are significantly priced. I want like $15 a piece, and that's just way too much. That was the only other stuff I'd seen in really the 2 or 3 months since I'd started looking for these. and then a lot of 3 popped up, and then a couple more singles popped up. But the interesting thing about the third one of these was the set, and they are actually listed on Beckett's website on their checklist as a 55 NASCAR set and a 55-56 IndyCar set, and I have those completed. I bought those. The interesting thing was this third one. If you look at there, you look right below the car. It says 1950.
Show it again.
1958 winner, which post dates the existing known sets, and I can't find. Beckett has nothing on that. So now it's a little bit of a mystery, and now it's time to start doing some research. And what I find, are there more of these? Did they maybe only release him because he was the Indy 500 winner? Does that mean that they did Indy 500 winner sets other years? So I don't know, because I mean, it's one of the interesting things about collecting stuff like this is there's one of the coolest things and one of the most annoying things is that there's not much information on them. So it's good and bad at the same time. So now I get to start trying to figure out.
So you're saying there's no like checklist for?
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's no information that I know of. There may be some guys that have some knowledge because they've collected these things over the last 20, 30 years, and they've got their culmination of knowledge. But as far as it being put into print or being put online, nothing so far that I've found. So now I get to go do some research. So that was one that was super cool. I just discovered it last night. Those came in over the weekend. They came in either Friday or Saturday. And I just opened them up and looked at them last night and was like, oh, looky what I found. Something different. So then I got my 8th Dale Earnhardt autograph at a good price. You can't tell from here, but the autograph, these classic cards have like a glossy coating like, most every card does. And unfortunately, the autograph, the signature has a lot of bubbles in it from the pen because it wasn't a good surface for it. So I actually got that for a really good deal. And then today I got this in. This is a Dario Franchitti. It's a black plate, and then it's signed, so it's obviously a 1 of 1. He ran 1 year in NASCAR. He was in NASCAR in 2008, so there are a lot of cards from him there, but he's definitely more known from his IndyCar time because he's a 4-time IndyCar champ. He won the Indy 500 3 times, and he's, I think, tied for 10th, I think it is, on the all-time career wins list. So he's absolutely a legend, and I was shocked. I was shocked that I got it for the price that I did. I mean, I didn't think I was going to win it, and I was going to go higher, but lo and behold, I was able to come up with it. So, of course, it was from the TNT North NJ. So it took like a week and a half to get here because they take forever to ship. Do you know what I'm talking about? The eBay seller, he's been on there. I mean, he's been on there since the early years because I've bought off of him. Yeah,
I don't think I've dealt with him. So
okay, yeah, I've heard a lot of complaints about him. My stuff usually gets here, but it takes forever to get here.
Yeah,
but so those were the coolest pickups I've got lately, at least that I've opened because I haven't gotten to open that box yet.
Well, I really hadn't picked up anything as far as PC wise. I did get. I've said before that the way how I build my sets, I did get my my bulk series 2 today to start my 2 sets.
Oh, okay.
So they got which comes. It wasn't quite as many as he normally sends, but I mean, still, 4 400 count boxes.
Oh, those are 400s. Okay.
So. Yeah, and I went through, and this is the thing about him is when he goes through them, there's like 1 or 2 cards maybe he's looking for that he pulls out. Everything else, he leaves everything else in. And, including like inserts.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, there's a black. Let's see. Here we go. There's a black parallel version.
Number 67?
This year's All-Star first baseman for the National League. And that's just one of the 400 count boxes. So I mean, those are a quick. I mean, you throw them on eBay for 99 cents and get rid of them. But that's stuff like his. Say what?
Yeah, just some quick eBay fodder there. You know, keeps you.
Yeah, I mean, it's
something new, something relevant,
something offset the price. You know, and I'll pull my 2 cents out of it, and I'll bulk up the rest of them and sell them on eBay and get $8-9 a piece for them, and make up the difference. And the way you shipped them this time, I got $5 in 400 count boxes. So,
yeah.
See what it's like. Oh, this one here is. Go ahead.
I used to ship stuff in those boxes inside priority mail boxes, but now they're so damn expensive. I've gone to different shipping methods instead of using the white boxes.
Yeah. And you can the way you ship those last ones to me, I mean, they make it fine, unless unless for some godforsaken reason that the post office decides to punt it across the floor and hit it with a Jeep truck or their mail truck or so. They make it fine.
And then you're gonna get the envelope with the sorry, we care.
Yeah, we piled it all back up in there, and here you go.
That's why I always pay for extra insurance, because I feel like in my head I tell myself, even if I don't fully have what I think it's worth insured, they just see that it's insured, so maybe they take just a little bit more care of it. At least that's what I tell myself. Yeah, that's what I tell myself.
Let's see what else going on. Not this past weekend, but last weekend or last week, I should say, they had the grand opening of the Lake Hartwell Collectibles, the hobby shop I told you was opening up here. Went by and checked them out and picked this up. I think I've started a new collection.
I saw this. Yeah, I love that. Love me. Did you see, or did I tell you about? I got those He-Man cards a couple months ago.
Yeah, you told me about it.
Okay, all right, yeah. I gotta pull that together and see what I need to complete that set.
Yeah, those are awesome, and they're not cheap either.
I probably got a good price. I think it's like with shipping, I think I paid like a dime a piece. I think it was a 100 count box, and I paid like $10 maybe.
Yeah.
So I guess I didn't realize they were, but it makes sense with everything. But of course, you wait it out. I'm sure everything's still dripping with nostalgia right now. So give it a few more months and come back down to earth.
With He-Man too, they got the new show coming out.
I didn't think of that. I did hear there was something coming out, so that might actually. It's the Last Dance effect.
Right. Yep. Makes me want to go to my parents' house and get in the attic and pull all my old ones down.
Especially, you still got yours.
Oh yeah,
still got
yeah.
Yours.
I've kind of had the collecting bug my whole life. I've always been the type that if I got something, I tried to put it up, save it, because I'm thinking, well, down the road, these are going to be worth something. And I need to get in my parents' attic because I've still got that. I've got an electronic. Remember the electronic football, the vibrating board?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't have that, but I know what you're talking about.
This one's back in the day when you had the AFC. Not AFC.
AFL.
AFL.
Interesting.
You had the AFL and NFL.
Yeah, man, you go through that and either collect them or sell them, one or the other. I sold all my He-Man off. My parents had kept them, but I sold those off probably about 15 years ago. The prices had started going up, and I was like, sure, I could use a few $100 extra. I sold off all my old WWE figures. I wish I hadn't sold those.
I never did get into those. I had a couple here and there, but I didn't try to save any of that. I don't know what made me cling. I don't know what made me cling on to the He-Man stuff.
I had the little thumb wrestler guys that were, I don't know, they were maybe about 4 or 5, 6 inches tall. And then I had I think they were 8-inch figures. They were like hard rubber. If you threw them at somebody and hit them in the head, you gave them a damn concussion. I had 8 of those. I had the wrestling ring. It was good times, man. That was right before I discovered baseball cards. And pretty much once I discovered cards, once I started getting into those, toys really went by the wayside for me.
Yeah.
So I didn't have, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff, because that was, I was into cards a lot by that point. I watched the cartoon. I loved the movies. I mean, I was still a kid in elementary school, but yeah, I wanted baseball cards. That was what I wanted.
Val had 18 Rat Packs, and that would have been.
That's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny. Every once in a while, I think about how I just kind of poo-pooed on non-sports for all those years. Specifically the entertainment stuff, and I'm like, why would anybody want these? Blah 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 blah. And now I'm 42 and going, man, I wish I had bought these before they took off, because now I want them. I think in a lot of ways, I would get more enjoyment out of some of those than I would out of sports cards, especially, as I was saying earlier, just not really into current sports that much anymore.
Yeah.
I am hitting that age where the nostalgia is hitting hard, and I'm more interested in the stuff from the 80s and the 90s than I am now.
Yep. Girls and beer, that'll pull you away from cards.
No, nothing ever pulled me away from cards. I wasn't one of them. I was, I guess, that guy.
Yeah. I mean, I never got just got out completely to where I just wanted to get rid of all of it. I kept all my stuff. Of course, I lost the majority of what I had in '96, except for what was at my parents' house. But and that was kind of what, going through my old bedroom closet about 3 years ago. That and finding out that I was about to have my first grandson is what kind of pulled me back in. So
kicked you in the ass a little bit.
Yeah. And like I said, it's always been something that, I may have not have bought any, but if I'd be in Walmart, if I was in Walmart, or I'd go by and just kind of see what was out, and, may have not have bought them, but I'd pick a box up and look at them, and just, I'm like, I tried back in 2001 when I started my 72 set, and I worked at that for about 6-7 months, and then it kind of got put to the side, and life just kind of took over, and pulled it out a couple of years later, and picked up a few more and put it back up, and pulled it out a couple of years later and bought a few more and put it back up. And now I'm down to 33 cards, and I really want to finish it.
You're getting there. Are you going to get it by the end of the year?
Oh, man, I hope so. Time's ticking though.
I mean, you're getting that close. You're going to finish it. So there's no need overpaying or being crazy.
Well, then that's the thing right now. And everything's kind of. It seems to me that everything is kind of getting to where there's getting down to a dip, and I'm hoping that maybe it'll help ease the pain a little bit.
Yeah, some of those things coming back to earth.
So, and there's I think I've decided to go back to the Spartanburg show one more time next month, and try my luck one more time to see if I can pick up a few more, because that seems to be the best way to grab them, outside of eBay, because on eBay you get into a bidding war, and then that's how you end up paying more than more than you would really like to, or more than it's really worth, actually. I mean,
I've heard there's a big card show in Dallas every other month. I don't know if you've ever heard about that.
Yeah.
I'll bet you
it would be cheaper for me to buy the rest of them I needed off eBay than to go to.
Yeah. but you don't get to hang out with like Val and me and
true.
everything.
I do want to go. I do want to go.
I know. I'm just giving you hell. I know you're not a fan of the flying, and I understand
I'm
that.
not, but and I told Brad this the other day. I legitimately did look into getting a plane ticket last month or whenever the last one was, and I didn't necessarily back out, but just say the stars didn't align and I didn't get to go. So,
I mean, it's not. I mean, the reality is it's not cheap. So,
yeah,
like you said, I mean, between all the money you pay to come out here, you can complete your set for that price, and that's why, depending on how you collect, for a lot of people, the National isn't a thing for some people based on necessarily how you collect. So,
if I was going to do that and travel that far, it wouldn't have to be primarily for the cards. It would have to be primarily. It would have to be primarily for, like you said, getting to meet you in person. Meeting Val, Rich, Steph, and all of those. So got Brad.
Hey, Brad.
How you doing?
Y'all go follow Brad if you don't already. He is a big Dolphins collector and a big Columbus Blue Jackets collector.
Is he just on YouTube or is he on Twitter too?
I don't think Brad's on YouTube or on Twitter, he could say, but he is on Instagram.
Okay.
So, hey, Brad.
Brad, if you want to drop your link in the chat, go ahead. That's fine with me. And matter of fact, if you want to, with that being said, we'll go ahead and slip on into the shout outs.
Slide on in.
My
shout out for this week is this channel is Pre-War Type Card Collecting. So when I put this into our little spreadsheet, that little secret spreadsheet Herman and I have, it was the 16th. He had just 12 subs, but he had 27 videos. So obviously, as you see in his title, if you know the term, he's a type card collector. And if you don't know what that is, basically what he does is he collects, and again, his is specifically pre-war. Now, there are people, that just do all cards, type cards. But what their goal is to get one card of every type. So one card from every set. So he focuses on pre-war, but even though he calls it, he's a type collector, he's got a lot of T206s. He's got a lot of T205s. But on the channel, and he was doing videos initially by the types, is in like a T card is a tobacco card. So he did. Now, granted, he didn't do this for tobacco. He didn't do all tobacco together, but he did like all of his E cards, which are caramel cards. He put all of those in there together. But yeah, it's just it's an interesting way to go through and watch and just look at, even if you're not, most of us, I think, even if you're not into the pre-war stuff, you at least appreciate it. So it's just an opportunity to maybe see some stuff that you don't see very often, because at least from what I found on YouTube, I mean, I assume it's just the same because it's like that on every platform we have. There's a lot less of those pre-war collectors than there are, pretty much anything else. So that was why I thought it is definitely something different. Like I said, not a ton of videos. He only had, I think, 17 subs or something like that. But just very cool to go through. And I've gone through, I think, about half of his videos. I still haven't gotten to the second half, but have everything in my watch later. And he actually just did a video within the last couple days. It might have even been today that he did an SGC reveal of some pre-war that he had sent off to them. So yeah, Mark, that might be something that, definitely is down your alley based on, how you collect. So, but that is my YouTube shout out, or our YouTube shout out for the week.
Well, that's cool. I just I had already gave him a sub after you sent me the link, but I just went on and found Brad too. So I got him.
Good stuff. So we got two. We technically got 2 shout outs in.
Yeah, we did. Like I said, it was. I'm not sure. I can't remember if he can put a link in chat.
Yeah, and I will say that he's Brad's very laid back. I love his videos because he's just so laid back, and it might have been just, I don't know if it was just this past year or it was the last 2 years, but I did vote for him for in the YouTube Hall of Fame voting. So that should give you some idea. That should give you some idea of how at least I feel about his channel, because he is, as we've talked about, and a lot of the guys that we've done in our YouTube shout out, he's what I consider a true collector. And I just appreciate that so much.
So it's Brad 8671.
Yes, sir. There you go. Got a few new subs, Brad. I guess that just means you're gonna have to do a video sometime soon. Not calling you out or anything. I'm just saying.
Why can't I? Okay, here it is. I'll finish drop. Yeah, I was trying to find the link, but I got it now. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop it in the chat too for anybody else. Boo.
That is true. That is true and unfortunate, Brad. You are a true collector of bad teams, but that makes you that much more true of a collector. You got to say that. I mean, you talk about futility. I mean, I'm a WVU Mountaineer alumni. You talk about futility. I have gotten into arguments with other WVU fans because they think that WVU is elite. They're like, we've got the most wins of any program without a championship. Well, there you go. You just made my point. We're not elite. You haven't even won a damn championship in either of the big 2 sports. I don't freaking care about the rifle championships.
Yeah,
because we do have like 20 something of those, I think, but nobody cares about that, right. myself included. All right, what else we got?
Hey, I think that's gonna about do it. For what I got.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else, and I know you need to do your break. So if you want to cut it a little bit short this week, I'm completely on board with that. So you're not up until you're not up until midnight doing your breaks.
Yeah. Well, at least I got everything set up and it's ready to go. As soon as we get off here, I can get started. So
that is the thing. I know I'm not really doing videos anymore, so I'm trying to show my limited pickups that I'm probably going to have in the near future. I'm going to show off on here because that's the thing. Sometimes it's just the getting set up. Because at least for me, I do my videos where I do my work, so I have to pull the work laptop off, put my laptop, all that stuff. I don't have a steady spot where I do only that, so it can be a challenge. So at least you got that advantage going.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get back this week to doing some more sorting. I had if it had a flat surface on it this week, I had cards stacked on it. It was
It was a flat surface. It was covered.
It was covered. I was tempted to start putting them on top of the fish tank, but I'm like, no, I can't go there.
I don't know whether to apologize or cry or what to do.
It was just a little bit of everything. I've got a bad habit of when I get something and I open it, especially like if we're on here, we share it, and I put it right here on my desk, and it'll sit there. Then something else will come in, and I'll open it and look at, and I'll sit it right there, and then it just starts building up a stack.
Oh, by the way, that's one of the things about me wanting to get organized is so that I can, when I get the stuff, I can go ahead and put it with the rest of it because it has just typically it goes into a box that has this and has that, and I'm horrible. I'm the worst.
I went through that. One of the things that I was going through was all the Braves you sent me, and I did check off about 75 that I needed for my binder project.
Nice. That's not probably what about maybe 400 of them in there or something like that. So maybe needed about a quarter of them. That's pretty good.
There was more than 400 in there.
Oh, was there? Okay. Well, I'm sure you'll find somebody. If you don't need the other ones, I'm sure you can find somebody local that some kids or something. Now that you got a card shop.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was going to say too. He's struggling getting card. Which I mean, who isn't right now, but he actually got a distributor and an account with a distributor, but they're like, we can't give you anything. We can't sell you anything.
I mean, this is both a good and a bad time to open a new shop because you would think it's good because there's so much stuff, but if you're starting from scratch, it's going to be quite difficult because you can't get anything. Literally, the only thing you can do for the most part is go get retail, and then you're pissing off some of your potential clientele by buying and flipping retail.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not going to get retail here anyway. The only thing we have in our town is a Walmart, and I haven't seen anything on the shelf there since. Well, I did find a few Bowman, but that was just by sheer luck that I walked in right after everybody got what they wanted. So,
yeah, I mean, again, that would be the only thing you could do. For the most part, it's going to be difficult. The only other option you have is trying to get into like that Bowman Sapphire lottery and just hope you can come up with a couple of boxes here and there.
Yeah, so I talked to Greg a little bit last week about they told him to get his allotment up, he had to spend like $10,000 a month, which means it's just like everybody says, you're going to buy a bunch of stuff that you don't want just to try to get your allocations up. Mm-hmm. And I told him, and I just kind of put it out there, but I mean, he was all for it. I told him, I said, well, when something comes out, I'm all the time looking for boxes open anyway. Let me know, and whatever you're going to order for the shop, I'll order through you to help get his allocations up, and it helps me out, it helps him out. So,
yeah, hopefully. I mean, and don't even get me started on that crap with. I think of Brent Williams, Brent and Becca, and all the crap that he had to buy all throughout the years.
Mm-hmm.
And now, he just totally got fucked by whoever the distributor or distributors were. They made him take all this crap to keep his allocations, and then they screw him over. So basically, they screwed him over twice. Yeah. And I'm not. There's guys that are very loyal to him. I bought from him once. I'm not one of those guys like where it's really affecting me. Because I know a lot of people bought their complete sets and bought their team sets. They just knew they could go to him and get them every time. I'm not one of those. I'm an outsider, so to speak, and I still, it's bullshit.
I had gotten to where I had started out about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and I bought from him a couple of times, and then finally it got to where when he had I didn't have to reach out to him. When he knew he had something coming out, he would send out an email. If you're still wanting this, let me know. I'll get you one out, which is great, especially for like the teams. Like you said, the team sets, you ain't got to worry about it. You know what's there. You know what's coming. And he was pulling my team set, plus any Freemans. He knew that I wanted any Freemans that he pulled, regardless of what it was.
Yeah, his customer service, from everything I understand, is, I mean, basically as great as you can get. You couldn't really ask for anything more. I know that sometimes I believe kind of the team sets kind of fell in of the shipping process, but I mean, I feel like most people were fine with that because they understood he was trying to get up his big hits, and because he's trying to get up the stuff as he's opening it, to maximize his profit, because obviously first one up gets the most money, 9 times out of 10. So, but yeah, I mean, I know a lot of guys. I know the About the Cards guys. I mean, we're very loyal to him.
That's where
yeah, and that's where I heard a lot of this from, and it's very sad. So, I mean, if there's anybody that in this hobby that I despise more than the flip vesters, it's the distributors.
Yeah, right. All right, well, guys, we're gonna hop off. I'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes to do this Stadium Club break and put up the remaining spots for my second box if anybody is interested. So we'll check y'all next week. Oh, real quick. I want to do the collector's corner next week that we had talked about
okay,
showcasing a collector and how they collect and showing their collection. I've already talked to Ed. He's on Twitter at SAH Sports Card. No, I'm sorry, at SAH Cards RI on Twitter. He sent me a handful of the Heritage short prints a few weeks ago to go in my set, and we've talked looked back and forth a little bit, and I asked him about it, and he said he'd love to. So,
all right, sounds good.
We'll start that next week, and if anybody else wants to hop on, we're going to try to do it about once a month. So, then that's going to be it. All right, y'all. Have a good night, and see you next week.
Bye.